Well, ladies and gentlemen, lo and behold, they admitted it. Yeah. I've suspected, we've suspected, everyone has suspected. We've done videos on it as well. Of Lord of the Rings of Power having reviews censored. Right? Yeah, we've done videos on it. Loads of people have spoken about it. But they have now out and out confirmed that that is the case. Amazingly. In quite a large puff piece in The Hollywood Reporter. Which I was surprised that, you know, this is kind of gone under the radar for me as well. Like, I did a video on the showrunners and some of the nonsense that they said. But they've out and out confirmed it. Because Amazon Studios boss come out, Jennifer Salk, and says, and I quote, we basically censoring reviews over points of view that we wouldn't support. What? What is that? I mean, we know what it is. It's criticism. We wouldn't support criticism, so we'll block that. And even still, it's not rated highly on Amazon. That's the most laughable thing. Even after all of that damage control, even after all of that, you still didn't manage to get it right. So let's take a look. I literally revisited this article today because it was very, very funny. But it is a giant damage control article in the Hollywood Reporter. Salk confirmed that the gigantic corporation was using all of its power to censor opinions that they disagreed with. And this is the problem when you come to like censoring a review and things like that, because like who's the arbiter of what's a justifiable thing? And when you have people mad in power like this, I mean, anything becomes justifiable. So she told the Hollywood Reporter that she saw the criticism. We all saw it coming. There was no surprises. Like, all right, so what, you knew you had a shit show on your hands then? Is that what you mean? You knew that it was going to be garbage? Is that it? I honestly, I suspect that they did. There's even supposedly, there's a theory floating around that in the last episode where they had the Southlands just sort of fade out, burn out, and then Mordor appeared, which is the most ridiculous, amateurish way to show that Mordor's just been created. I have never seen something as amateurish as that. It's been a long time since I've seen something as pathetic as that. But there's a thought process that whole thing was there because they knew that they'd be alienating fans, and like they sort of recut that at the last minute, believing that the only people that won't be supporting it from then on, or would be supporting it from then on, would be people that just wouldn't really know that it was Mordor, which says a lot. But obviously that's unconfirmed. But it's an interesting thing to comment on, because why would you do that otherwise? But anyway, she continued and says, having insight into our global audience, we also have insight into the darker side of how people can manipulate reviews and have other points of view that we wouldn't support. What? I mean, just nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Now, Variety reported that they were using a new 72-hour delay for all user reviews posted to Prime Video. They actually out and out delete reviews. Quite a lot of reviews. They just keep deleting. Like, so many people keep coming on these videos going, I've left like 5 reviews. Not only did they indicate that they were delaying reviews, but they would also be evaluating each review for authenticity. Variety's Adam B., Vary, and Jennifer Mass explained, each critique is then evaluated to determine whether it's genuine or a forgery created by a bot, troll, or other breed of digital goblin. But now we know that that's not the case, that they were just censoring views that they disagreed with, which makes a lot of sense. Now, Variety went on to claim that Prime Video's system is working by pointing to a league of their own and the fact that the show had an average of 4.3 out of 5 stars, with 80% of users giving it 5 stars, while only 14% gave it 1 star. Anyone with any sense of critical thinking ability would be Appalled at writing such words, it's rather clear that Prime Video is favouring reviews that praise their own shows rather than comments and reviews that are critical of it, which makes perfect sense. We know that. We've seen it. So not only can one deduce that this is, simple observation that 80% 5-star reviews compared to only 14% 1-star reviews, but I mean, it just makes... I am so shocked, but also not shocked. Again, just to sort of reiterate, this piece is hilarious. This is the piece that I revisited. I revisited this because I distinctly remember, and I never made a video on it, but I remember them talking about the showrunners, how they got the job. And they literally say, we asked J.J. Abrams to put in a good word. Where is it? Here. Yeah. At one point, Payne and McKay asked mentor and former boss J.J. Abrams to call Amazon and put in a good word, and he did. We feel like that moved the needle. These are rank amateurs, by the way, absolute newbies in the industry. And they're like, oh, JJ, mate, pal, can you put in a good word, please, bro? I mean, why on earth Amazon Prime listen to JJ Abrams is beyond me anyway. Because that guy couldn't produce a good poo in a toilet. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's outrageous. But they're like, oh, hearing them bounce back and forth, they had such a deep connection to the material that was there from the beginning. There was no education you could do for that. It was their natural, organic interest. That's from Sulk, the same individual that has admitted that they were censoring people. What an absolute lump of shite. Seriously. And they're like, oh yeah, well, criticisms we can handle, we've heard it all. Everything fans have debated, they say they likewise argued with. Like, one of the big things we learned was, even if it's a small scene, always has to tie back into the larger stakes. What? Jesus. And they even say, I think what's so funny about this is that they're starting to talk about their problems already. They're like, yeah, we made some massive problems in Season 1, but we're going to correct them for Season 2. Please keep watching. Please? Anyone? Please. Oh yeah, we're now to switch off reviews. So again, talking about the backlash. Just, what a pile of nonsense. But it is possible Rings' percentage of agenda-based reviews might be much higher than for House of the Dragon. Yeah, no, it's not. People just like House of the Dragon because it's actually well written. This isn't well written. This is poo. New age, politically correct girl power garbage version of fantasy that's raping the text. That sounds like what's populating Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb right now. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? But, whatever. And they say, the spirit of Tolkien is about disparate peoples who don't trust one another and look different from one another, finding common ground in friendship and accomplishing big things. That's the spirit we've tried to include. They're just talking about... whatever. Anyway, they've admitted it. Properly censoring people that they just don't agree with. Nonsense!